Hey y'all. This is about the distributive property. So here's some vocabulary. Pause it, get the vocabulary down. All right, terms. When we're dealing with terms are separated by an addition sign or subtraction sign. If it is like 3 plus x, those are terms. 3 is a term and x is a term. If it is 3x, that is multiplication. So that is a term, but the 3 and the x are not separated by an addition and subtraction sign. So these are terms, and this is one term together. Like terms have identical variables. That means they have the same exponents. For example, you could have 3x and 2x, and those are like terms. If you had 4x squared, even though it's an x, it is not a like term because the exponent is different. So only if it's identical, the same variable and the same exponent. All right. Coefficient is the number multiplied by the variable. So in this example, 3x, the 3 is the coefficient. So the coefficient is the number multiplied by the variable. A constant is just the number, no variable. So like up here, that is a constant. You could have 2x plus 5, and 5 is the constant. It's just a number, no variable. And then the distributive property, DP, I'm going to abbreviate DP. The distributive property is when you multiply a term by a sum or a difference. If you have a term and you're going to multiply it by the sum or a difference. And so I'm going to show you what that means in the next slide. All right, copy these down. All right, the distributive property, DP. So we're going to multiply a term by either a sum or a difference. So in example A, I have a sum, x plus 10, and I want to multiply -5 by x plus 10. Well, if you had a value here, you would go ahead and add these, x plus 10, because it's in grouping symbols, but we do not. So we have to distribute. We're going to multiply the -5 by the x and the -5 by the 10. We're going to distribute it. So -5 times x, we don't know what x is, so -5 times x is -5x. -5 plus 10 is -50. So my answer is -5 minus 50. -5 minus 50. There you go. In example B, I wrote it down twice because I'm going to show you two different ways. Now you might want to skip a few lines. So I have -8 times k minus 4. So depending on how strong you are with your integers, you can leave it a minus and know that that means negative. So I'm going to distribute -8 times k, and I get -8k. -8 times -4, because really that's a -4. -8 times -4 is a positive 32, so plus 32. So I have two terms, and I have a constant 32, because there's no k here. Now, if you are not strong with your integer rules and you have a minus, then you can touch that twice, and now it's plus a negative. So I've touched it twice right here, touched twice, and I can distribute. And I'm going to come out with the same thing. So -8 times k is -8k. -8 times -4. So now you see that it's a -4. -8 times -4 is a positive 32. So I come out with the same answer. If it helps you to touch twice, then please touch twice if you see a subtraction sign. C, I'm going to distribute. In this one I have a difference. 3 times 2g, so 3 times 2 is 6, so 6g. 3 times -6 is -18. Now again, if the subtraction sign, if you need to touch twice, then it would be 3. I'm just rewriting it. So this would be your answer right here. So if you need to touch twice because you don't quite remember that that is really a negative, you could touch twice. 3 times 2g is 6g, and then 3 times -6 is -18. So you see I'm getting the same answer if I need to touch twice. So that is if you still need some help with your integer rules. So that is the distributive property. All right, copy. Now we're going to do some combining like terms. So combining like terms, if they have the same exact variable, then they are like terms. So example A, I have 12A plus 3A. Both my A's are the same variable, same exponent. So I can combine them. 12 plus 3 is 15. So I have 12 A's over here. So if I wanted to, I mean I don't want to, but if I wanted to, I could write out 12 A's. A times A times A times A, because 12A means 12 times A, 12 groups of A. And then I could do that 12 times, and then I could add 3 more A's, and all together I'm going to have 15. 15 A's. So you can add 12 plus 3 and get 15. You do not do anything with your A. Your variable stays the same. So in example B, you notice I have like terms, negative 7W plus 10 minus 3W. I have like terms, and then I have a constant. So I'm going to combine my like terms, negative 7, and then minus 3. Negative 7 minus 3. If you know your integer rules, then you know that's going to be negative 10. If you need to touch twice, then you can touch twice. So I'm going to have negative 10 W's and then plus 10. I am going to go ahead and bring that down because I couldn't combine it with anything because it's a constant. Example C. I have M minus P plus 2M minus 4M. Now, the coefficient in front of M and P is a coefficient of 1. So if you need to draw a 1 in there to help you understand that's a 1, then that is fine. This is 1M and 2 M's. So when I combine my M's, 1M and 2M, I'm going to get 3 M's. And then right here, sorry, my door scared me. My dog is coming in. Cooper, you can't come over here. No, stay back. I'm going to combine. This is a negative 1P. So again, if you need to touch twice, this is a negative 1P. And this is a negative 4P. Negative 1 and minus 4. Negative 1, negative 4 if you need to touch twice. So you see it's going to be a negative 5P for my answer. 3M minus 5P. All right, you try D. So you look at D, pause it, press play when you're ready to see the answer. All right, in D, my like terms are here and here. I have constants. So I'm going to combine negative 3x minus x. So this is a negative 1. And that is going to combine to give me negative 4x, because negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Negative 4x. And then I have a 5 and I have a negative 7. 5 minus 7 is going to be negative 2. So there you go. If you need to touch twice, then you would see that that's a negative 7 and that's a negative 1. But we're trying to not touch twice anymore. All right, so we're putting it all together. We're going to do everything, distributive property and combine like terms. The directions simplify the expression. All right, so copy these down. Example A. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify by distributing. I'm going to do the distributive property. So the distributive property first, and then you're going to combine like terms. Distributive property first, and then combine like terms. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then 2 times x is 2x. And then bring down your plus x. I've distributed. Now I can combine like terms, and they're nice and they're right beside each other. So 8 plus 2x plus x is 3x's. And there is my final answer simplified. 8 plus 3x. I can't do anything more because I don't know what x is. If I told you x is equal to 5, then you could substitute it in. Example B, negative 5 times 3x minus 6 plus 7x. So I'm going to distribute. Negative 5 times 3x is negative 15x. Negative 5 times negative 6, these are two negatives, is going to be a positive 30. And then I bring down my plus 7x. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So I have my like terms of my x's. Negative 15 plus 7 is negative 8x plus 30. There we go. C, 5y plus 9z minus 7 minus 3y. I do not have any distributive property, so I'm going to go to my like terms, and I have like terms here. And I do not have any more z's, and I do not have any more constants. So 5y minus 3y is going to leave me with 2y, and then I just have to bring everything else down. I just bring everything else down. You don't just drop it, so you just bring it down. I cannot combine those because I don't have any other like terms. All right, example D. I have to distribute. Negative 6 times 2x is negative 12x. Negative 6 times negative 4 is a positive 24. And then I bring plus 8x minus 10. Now I need to combine like terms, so I have like terms right there. Negative 12x plus 8x is going to give me a negative 4x. And then I have positive 24 minus 10. And a 24 minus 10 is going to be a plus 14. And then there you go. I cannot combine them any more than that because these are not like terms. And I got the negative 4 from negative 12 and 8. And those are the coefficients. All right. Copy these down and try these on your own. Press pause and then press play when you're ready to see the answer. All right. So you try A. I'm going to distribute. Now this is a negative 4, so be careful. 5. Negative 4 times 2j is negative 8j, so 5 minus 8j. Negative 4 times negative 4 is a positive 16j. Now, if you noticed, these are both j's, so can you combine those? Sure, you could, but I just told you to do distributive property first, because usually they're not the same. So now we're going to combine like terms right here. Negative 8j and 16j is going to be 5 plus 8j because I have negative 8 and I have 16. So when you combine those, it's going to be 8j. I hope you got that one right. Example 2b. You try B. 2c minus 2 times 5f minus 1 plus 8c. So I'm going to distribute this negative 2. 2c minus 2 times 5f is negative 10f. Negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. And then I bring down my 8c. Notice this term 2c in the front, you don't do anything with that. You just leave it there. 2c is fine all the way where it is. Now we're going to combine like terms, and the only like terms I have are these c's. So 2c plus 8c is 10c minus 10f plus 2. Okay, hope you got that one right. Ooh, let's look at this long one. Ready? 5 times x plus 2 minus 5 times y plus 3 minus 2x plus 5y. So I'm going to distribute twice in this problem. 5 times x is 5x plus 10. 5 times 2 is 10. Negative 5 times y is negative 5y. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. Then I bring everything else down. So I've got a lot going on. So I want to combine like terms. So I have an x right here and an x right here. Cooper? I'm going to combine 5x minus 2x is going to give me 3x. Now I have, thank you, negative 5y plus 5y. So negative 5y plus 5y, well, that's going to be 0y. We don't need to write 0y because 0 times y is 0. And then I have 10 constant, and then this is a negative 15. Do you see that? That's a negative 15. So 10 minus 15 is negative 5. So that would be your final answer. 3x minus 5. So that was a lot of mumbo jumbo and then down to 3x plus 5. So Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll work more tomorrow.